Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful New Year's wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. Now, here's the thing, because you hold XRP for such a long period of time, over time you've always heard there's going to be the greatest transfer of wealth in our lifetime. It's going to happen for XRP holders. Most of you have heard that at some point or another. But how do we see that happening? How do we know that's going to happen? How will it happen? It could possibly happen like this. The same government politicians that point at FTX as an indictment of all crypto because a fraudster kept customers from accessing their funds has written plans to do a bail-in during the next financial crisis where banks close and they steal your money and prevent access to it. Now, we've seen this happen in other countries throughout the summer. I pointed it out in a few videos. And this is going to happen more and more as we move into the future because I think this is part of the plan. And this is how a lot of people can get their wealth wiped out. All of a sudden, because you have actual cash in the bank, you go from having money to going to zero. Or maybe you have to sit back and file an FDIC claim. And you know how fast the government works. Think about if the whole country falls into a liquidity crisis, all of a sudden you have no access to your money. You have to file that insurance claim, send it into the government, and it's going to take years before you see any money possibly, because we know the government moves at a snail's pace. But most people outside of crypto would never even see this coming or have any idea that this could even happen. And a lot of people, even in crypto, would say, well, the government would never let that happen in the US. Well, I'm going to show you in this video that there's already bail-in framework written in our laws. So, FDIC quote, you don't want a huge run on the institutions, and there's going to be. Another major clip from the FDIC meeting showing this is going down soon. They're expecting it. Think about that. They're already expecting this to happen. So, real-world examples of a bail-in. Cyprus and European Union resolutions provide two examples of bail-ins in action. The Cyprus experiment, while the public became familiar with the subjects of bailouts in the aftermath of the Great Recession of 2008, bail-ins attracted attention in 2013 after government officials resorted to the strategy in Cyprus, as discussed in the National Herald. The consequences were that uninsured depositors, defined in the European Union as people with deposits larger than 100,000 euros in the Bank of Cyprus, lost a substantial portion of their deposits. In return, the depositors received bank stock. However, the value of these stocks did not equate to most depositors' losses. And again, this can happen here at any moment. So the European Union, in 2018, the European Union began looking at more broadly incorporated bail-ins into its resolution framework. In a speech at the IADI-ERC International Conference, Fernando Ristoy from the Bank of International Settlements discussed the bail-in plans. In the European Union, a new resolution framework is being considered that would potentially incorporate both bail-ins and bail-outs. Bail-ins would be involved in the first phase of a resolution, requiring a specified amount of funds to be written off before bailout funds would become available. Again, that could take a very long period of time. This is what I have done. Took most of my money out of Citibank and bought gold and silver. I have just enough in my bank to pay bills. How many times have you heard me say that in previous videos? I always tell you, I have zero money in a savings account. Why? Because the bank doesn't allow me to earn any money off of my money. I'm better off putting whatever I would put into the savings account into crypto. At least I could get life-changing money in the future. On top of that, I never really trusted the banks to begin with. I put enough in my checking account to pay bills. That's it. Hope everyone knows there's no FDIC insurance on your bank account. In fact, Obama passed bail-in language so they can legally steal our money. All banks are about to fail. Hope you have silver and gold. Now, I said it before. They knew this was coming a long time ago. I believe Trump might have been the only thing preventing the plan from happening sooner, because he put a stop to a few things here and there. But now we're back on track with this same agenda. It's all tied to that 2030 agenda. I still feel a financial collapse is going to happen anytime between now and 2024. I believe it's going to start sometime next year, though. And once that starts happening, even Bitcoin's going to get a massive run up. I've said it many times. But on top of that, you got to keep in mind that we're not going to be cashing out into the US dollar when crypto really takes off. The US dollar is going to be plummeting at that point. It's going to be way down in value. Either I'm going to try to find a way to buy physical gold or silver with my crypto, or I'm going to just stake it somewhere, do something with it. A lot of people say you'll be able to cash out into USDC. We'll have to see what happens with that as well. But this all leads to this. We're seeking community members to guide the design of a guaranteed income pilot program. The pilot will use federal COVID-19 relief funding to provide monthly unrestricted cash assistance to low-income community members. Now, anytime they talk about giving out guaranteed monthly income, they always gear it towards the low income, or people on the poverty line. Like I said before, it's all geared towards people that have to be reliant on the government. Basic income, ready to be rolled out in Canada, and they think the reset is going to take another 50 years. You know how many people I talked to outside of crypto, and I tried to tell them about the Great Reset, and they said, that's never going to happen in our lifetime. That's what, 2050, 2060, if it ever happens. Well, let me tell you something. I have done a lot of videos on the Great Reset, and we're getting there little by little every single day. You could see it through the news that's happening throughout the world right now. Universal basic income with new CBDC global financial system. The pieces are in place. According to the World Bank, by 2030, nearly 7% of the world's population, nearly 600 million people, will struggle in extreme poverty. And then they'll rely on the government universal basic income. The same, and it's not free money. It's money that if you say things that they don't like, or you do things that they don't like, they could easily take that money away. It's part of the slavery system. Nothing comes for free. Remember that. 63% of Americans support more stimulus checks to combat inflation. I am no silver spoon guy and work my ass off to make a living. And times are tough, but handouts are wrong 99% of the time. With long-term negative ripple effects, stimulus equals inflation we have now. Stop feeding the bears. Now, I keep seeing people say we need more stimulus to fight off inflation. Well, with stimulus comes even more inflation. Any money you get for free, you end up paying it back some other way by buying food, buying gas, whatever the case may be, because everything goes up in value with inflation. My thing is, hurry up and send these stimulus checks so I could put all in XRP, and I hope price stays the same or lower. The irony with buying this asset with government money is a plus. That's from December of 2020. The funny thing is, my stimulus money I still have. Back then, I got the check. I bought XRP, XLM, and HBAR. And because I never sold any of it, I still literally have my stimulus money. So the government bought me crypto in so many words. So special drawing rights for XRP, stablecoin. Now this is what I believe XRP is going to become in the future. I said in yesterday's video that it could become an ESDR, but I'm more on the thinking that it's going to continue being the trust layer in between two CBDCs. It makes more sense to me. It is possible to envision even more adventurous arrangements. For instance, a special drawings rights-based stablecoin issued by a multilateral agency, which would be exchangeable with any national currency. Any national currency could thus be converted into any other national currency in 2 steps via the stablecoin. Such an arrangement would resemble the cross-border payment system that Ripple currently operates with its XRP cryptocurrency, and it's just one of a variety of possible alternatives. So they're already looking at it to be used for what it's designed for, but it has to be at a high stable value. I stress that all the time. A lot of people say, well, it's definitely going to be gold backed in the future, but it doesn't really have to be, because if it's going to move a lot of value, it has to be high valued. But again, the gold back idea is becoming more and more possible as well, because we see everything getting backed by something in the future. Plus, we see all the gold getting bought up by country after country and central banks. So, blockchain and banks, XRP and gold, XRP and SDRs. So XRP could be used to facilitate the purchase or sale of gold. XRP could potentially be used as a bridge currency to facilitate the purchase or sale of gold by enabling cross-border transactions between different currencies. This could make it easier for buyers and sellers of gold to conduct transactions with one another. XRP could be used to settle trades of gold-backed instruments. Gold-backed instruments such as exchange-traded funds or future contracts could potentially be settling using XRP. This could provide a more efficient and secure way to settle these trades, as XRP is a digital asset that is traded on a blockchain-based platform. Gold could be used as collateral for XRP transactions in some cases. Gold could potentially be used as collateral for XRP. For example, if a financial institution wanted to use XRP to facilitate a cross-border payment, it could potentially use gold as collateral in order to secure the transaction. So if they're going to secure the transaction by gold, XRP has to be at a much higher price, in my opinion. But again, we have to wait and see, because we're so early. We beat the institutional money into crypto. We're still waiting for the institutional money to get here. Plus, we're waiting to see the new financial system roll out. At some point, I believe they're going to announce we're going back to the gold system, the gold standard. When that happens, you can bet XRP could hit those high prices, maybe $1,000, maybe $10,000 in the future. Every man to himself. Personally, I believe XRP will be at higher price range. This is not based on riddles or decodes. Once we have clarity with the case, and if XRP will be mass adopted by the institutions as the bridge currency, that's what's going to give the value, that bridge currency and on-demand liquidity. But as we see what's happening with the banks, or what's about to happen with the banks, because they talk like this is imminent, it's going to happen at some point, that could be the greatest transfer of wealth. That's how it happens. All of a sudden, people that have a pile of money in the bank go to zero, while crypto holders continue to rise and become the richest people in the world. We'll have to wait and see, but it seems like something that they're already planning for. With that said, I'm going to wrap up today's video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you watching my videos. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great night and a happy new year.